Hello students. In the past decades, electronic computer consists of a numerical processor and a memory unit. The input is taken by users through the manual switches and output is given by a series of lights. In 1950s, after the invention of the guitar computer, need for better resources and medium of interaction with human users were required. Then, many researchers and engineers invented these resources as input-output devices, also known as I/O devices or peripherals. Various input-output devices, as shown in the subsequent slides, include monitor, keyboard, mouse, cameras, printers, plotters, and scanners. A general-purpose computer may have the ability to receive information from various sources and produce output in some meaningful form. We need some programs that are used to communicate from various peripherals that come under input-output system. Interfaces are required for the communication between the various peripherals, processor, and the memory unit. Therefore, various input-output devices connected to the computer system via interfaces allows the users to communicate with the computer system by giving some input responded by some specific output. For example, if a user wants to play some video on the computer, for that user, he needs a player which plays the song selected by the user. The command is given by the PC by using mouse as input device, and in response, PC plays the video on the screen and also plays the sound using speakers. This scenario is an example of input-output system communication with the CPU. Now you understood what are input-output devices. Let us discuss about data transfer between peripherals. We have several questions in our mind regarding data transfer, like how is data communicated? How the data is controlled by the processor? Where would the data be stored? What are the various techniques and mechanisms that are needed for transfer of data? What is the speed of data transfer? How is the data encoded? And many more questions. The answer to these questions are dependent on the type of devices, speed of devices, type of cabling used, and the distance between the devices and the processor. For most of the devices, the digital signals used by central processing units are not sufficient for the communication. The encoding schemes and the voltage of the devices may differ from the internal specifications of the processing system. So, we need some device which converts or controls the various data transferred from the peripheral to the system or vice versa. As you can see here, the interface controller is the hardware inbuilt in a processor, and every input-output device is used to provide interfacing between them. Interface controllers are needed on both ends of the communication channels between the devices. Firewire and InfiniBand are the two most widely used interface configurations. Processor also contains a device status table which contains the information about each device type, address of each device, and the current state of the various devices. That's all for this lecture. Thank you and see you in our next lecture.